Welcome to the Good Rookie Show. My name's Fahim.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all. And we are Good Rookie.
That's right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday. And guess what? It's the Good Rookie Show.
What?
What's going on, y'all? How you doing? We're your hosts coming to you from Toronto, Canada, the 6th. And as you know, you bring on your hottest topics in sports and culture. This week is no different. And so I'm going to start off with a quick, Fahim, trivia. You know how I've been doing the last couple of weeks. This is actually something where I, again, found out very shocked, but not shocked. So they had a study around what's the 10 most impactful economic sporting events in U.S. history, right? We don't have to go through like which year, but I know you follow sports. What sporting event do you think has been the most impactful in the States? Like you could give me like 2 or 3.
Football,
Okay.
like the NFL league. Say the NBA's got to be up there, I'd assume. 2.
Okay. But what about like they're talking about just like the sport itself, or this is an event? So we're talking about like, I don't want to give it away, like championships events.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when the championship event, typically the events are typically they pick a city before, right? Or all-star break or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, these are all championship events. I'll give you that
Oh,
hint.
okay. Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
got to be there. NBA Finals, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Third one, hockey, no. World Series, no. MLS Cup, no. Um, let me just go with the World Series. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll give it to you. You have the majority of the top 10 events. So they had the top 10 events. The top 6 and the top 10 were all Super Bowl events. Are we surprised? No. Your first thing was football. That's correct. So the highest grossing or most economical impact sporting event in history was Super Bowl in Arizona. Super Bowl LV11. That is 7.6 billion, Fahim. 7.6 billion is that Super
For
Bowl.
one event. Wow.
One event. Economic impact. Okay. So that's crazy. And that was a Super Bowl this past year that just passed. So Super Bowl, I think it was, I can't do the numerals, but Super Bowl, whatever. That number. I mean,
Whatever the Arizona one was, right?
Yeah, but the one that passed this year, that's exactly was the highest grossing. I mean, which makes sense, right? Because that one has Eagles, right? Had Eagles and it had Chiefs, right? The Chiefs are one of the up and comings, make it back to back. And the Eagle fans, as we know, Fahim, are also very intense. So this makes sense. And this one featured 2 Black quarterbacks. So imagine that, Fahim, an event that had 2 Black quarterbacks was the most impactful economic impact event in U.S. history. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 was all Super Bowls. The one in Florida a couple years ago, that's the Tom Brady one. Miami, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Minneapolis, and Houston. Okay. Now, 7 to 10, it gets interesting. You listed, Fahim, we would think basketball would be above this sport, but it isn't. The most impactful was the Atlanta, Georgia World Series. That is number 7.
Wow.
After
Why?
that, yeah, it's very high. That had 2.2 billion. After that was it. After that will be Formula One in Vegas, 1.7 billion. That's above NBA. Number 9 was the NBA Finals in San Francisco, California, 1.5 billion. And number 10 is the Denver, Colorado NHL Stanley Cup Championship. Wow. So you would think there'd be more like NBA Finals economic impact or you know what I mean? But Super Bowl dominates, and then this World Series event, a Formula One, the finals, and then Denver. So I thought that was quite interesting because we
Hmm.
know San Fran, that's where the Warriors played. So their home games obviously had a lot more impact. And every other city, the impact wasn't as great. So, Fahim,
Mm.
what's your thoughts on these top 10 events?
Yeah, the one that's I find most surprising is Denver. NHL's on this list. Um, especially the United States. I wouldn't assume the NHL would be on anyone's radar like that. So, um, that was probably the biggest one. Biggest surprise, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, is going to be the fact that, yeah, the NBA Finals, 6, 7 game series, and we've had some pretty good. Well, Denver was in it last year, okay, but you normally have the usual suspects who are big draws, like the Lakers were in there during the
Mm-hmm.
bubble, and I don't know. I'm just kind of more shocked, yeah, that it did not more basketball was in there.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about the economic impact, I kind of get it because the NBA finals are only consistent of the teams that are playing in the finals. Whereas
Mhm.
in Super Bowl, they pick the city prior, right?
Right,
So
right,
both teams are playing in that city. So they're both going to draw in their fan bases, right?
right.
So that's why I'm like, oh, this kind of makes sense because, World Series, again, the Braves was in the World Series. So that made sense. Remember, it was their first. And I could
Hmm.
I could imagine how many people were like at those games, right? In terms of impact. Plus, Atlanta is a great city to visit. Formula One in Vegas, that's the one that's occurring coming up. And that impact, sorry, the Vegas Formula One, I was shocked about that one, Fahim, because that one is projected to have. It hasn't happened yet, but that's a projection of it. So if they project it correctly, it'll be top 10. But the fact that San Francisco, Denver, I mean, home teams don't probably have impact because people aren't traveling, to like out of town to the home team, right? So, but yeah, I mean, quite interesting. Again, cool little trivia. I wasn't aware. I hope you guys learned this from us too, but
Hmm.
it's pretty like once you think about it, like wow, like football, they have a good formula for him because they make
Yeah.
an event. From what I was told, Super Bowl, it's like a 2 week event prior
Mhm.
to the game. They have
Oh
events
yeah,
happening every day. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
they do a big job in drawing attention, awards, you name it, to make it not just one game, but make it an actual like event for 5 to 7 days. So that's pretty dope
Hmm.
that they kind of are drawing those crowds. And hey, if you get a Super Bowl in your city, Fahim, wow, you're gonna make a lot of money for your town. So
Hmm.
that's why these bids for Super Bowl is huge. Everybody wants one.
Yeah. Well, I guess keeping on theme of big events, Netflix. What Netflix did, I guess, during the pandemic, is when the Michael Jordan doc came out,
Mm-hmm.
and that some things worked in its favor. The fact that everyone was home, it was MJ. But yeah, it was a place to be, to watch. Well, Netflix now is reportedly interested, apparently, in the NBA in-season tournament. I'm assuming that something like that, they're going to acquire the rights if it happens to the in-season tournament, and it looks like they're looking at doing a docu series on the in-season tournament. I
Oh.
think that's a great. Okay, well, what do you think, Nelly J?
This is interesting that Netflix is trying to get into live streaming. Because keep in mind, the in-season tournament is a live event, right? And guys, I'm gonna share my guilty pleasure. Love is Blind. They had a live finale event one time, streaming event, and it was awful. Netflix crashed. No one can get on. They were not prepared for everyone wanting to watch it a live stream. So I'm hesitant when I hear Netflix wanting to do anything live streaming. I think
Mm.
if it's a documentary, that's their lane. But the live streaming stuff, they're gonna have to invest in better software, better technology. Because when they did that for him, it was a flop thing, right? Real flop. So
Mhm.
live streaming would be a different lane for Netflix. They're used to just having it pre-recorded and putting it up. So that's my number one question mark. Number two, it makes sense because all their other competitors are going into the sporting space, right? We know Disney owns ESPN, which for now, because I'm hearing people are bidding for ESPN, but Disney owns ESPN, right?
Mhm.
We know Apple TV is now sole distributor for MLS, right? Or mostly for I believe MLS. Yes. Now we're seeing Apple's trying to get another. I think they're trying to get to another sport as well, but we're seeing like all the other streaming services like Amazon Prime already gets Thursday Night Football. For those who don't know, so Thursday Night Football, that ownership distribution is by Amazon, right? So it makes sense for Netflix to say, hey, Amazon's involved, Apple Plus, Disney Plus, they already have it. Clearly, we need to get in this sports lane. Sports sells, and fans on sports will watch sport documentaries. So I think it's a good look, especially for the NBA, because for the NBA, I think that the in-season tournament, it's okay. I mean, it's all right. The courts are cool, I guess. I think watching those games, definitely the players, Fahim, I feel like the players are playing more for in-season tournament than they have in an all-star game. You know what I mean? Like you can
Mhm.
tell these guys actually want to win these games. Everyone's playing hard. Because that's a lot of money, especially for guys. And big up to, I think it was Dame who said it, Dame Lillard who said it about how the guys who are on the bench, they're not making no 10 million, $20 million. So they're like, we're playing to help our teammates out, not just about the guys who are stars. So I think it's going quite well. I don't think it's gonna be, I mean, people aren't like, oh my God, tonight is in-season tournament night game. We have to watch it. But I think it gives the NBA something. So I think adding the Netflix effect for him, it may give it a little bit more, you know, I guess, notoriety as, hey, this is a distinction type tournament. Now, I saw something and I forgot who shared it on Instagram for him, but someone made a good suggestion about they should add international teams in the in-season tournament to make it kind of a bit more interesting, right? So
Mhm.
imagine the top teams in Europe, like maybe top five, they qualify now to play in this tournament. And now we got five plus the NBA teams competing, right? So if you're playing those teams and you know what I'm saying, Fahim? It kind of can make it quite interesting because a lot of those teams think that they're as good as the NBA. So let's see, right? And the pot is still a lot of money for whoever wins it. So yeah, I think they got something here for him. I really do. And I think Netflix, if they join it, they have a huge international following, huge international customers around the globe. So I think it will help the NBA to be a bit more popular in international markets, but also it will allow them to say, hey, like basketball sells, basketball is good. So yeah, I think it's a good idea for the NBA and for Netflix. But my question again, Fee, my concern is streaming. Can
Mhm.
they handle the streaming of these games? How about you? What's your thoughts on this
Well,
endeavor?
the court, I think it's absolutely brilliant what they did
Mm-hmm.
with the court. When I first saw, well, pretty much when we all saw on social media, the courts, I didn't know that like what to think at first because it was just so shocking. I was like, okay, different colors, you know. Um, then after I get it. After seeing into, I think it's brilliant the fact that you can look at it and automatically, visually know with that, like you can have your television on mute. You don't need commentary where you just flip channels. Once you see that court, you know instantly, oh, that's in season tournament, just visually.
Mm-hmm.
I think so that I think that distinction, it's amazing. It's wow. I think that's something that they would probably for the in-season tournament, that's going to be an ongoing in-season tournament look. And I think it's great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also what you mentioned about the European teams, that would be a really great addition. I agree. I think if you're going to incorporate the European teams, perhaps you give them a bye and maybe you incorporate them after people get out the group stage. So you get these European
Ooh.
teams playing against maybe the better competition as you get further on in the tournament. I think that would
Mm-hmm.
be a good idea. Um,
So you're saying they
and
have their
lastly,
own tournament within their own league, and the winners join. Yeah, that
right,
hey,
join
that can
later,
work
right?
too. Mm-hmm.
I that would be I think that'd be kind of cool. And in regards to Netflix, I think if they had the exclusive rights to it, um, so it's kind of like when I think of boxing. Boxing, back in the day used to be on just regular cable, and they kind of alienated um, a lot of their fan base by just going to pay-per-view because people who normally would be casually boxing fans, now you had to go to pay-per-view, get it on a different platform, and some people didn't do the shift. I'm just wondering if they were to take it specifically through Netflix. Um, I'm I'm not saying it won't work, but I'm just wondering if well, actually, as I'm saying this, I'm thinking maybe that's another way, much like the court distinguishes automatically. Perhaps having that brand of Netflix would give it that also another lane of being special and exclusive, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that might work actually. As I'm speaking, I'm kind of working through this. I think that might be actually kind of cool knowing that, associating the in-season tournament with a specific platform to get it on, that would maybe give it a like actually separate it from normal regular season play even more.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, what you're making about when you watch the teams, players are playing hard. They're not like just kind of going through it like the motions like the All Star
Mm-hmm.
game. And I'm noticing that also. I'm noticing what I think that the NBA did great is making sure that these in-season tournaments count for something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, overall, I think if this happens with Netflix getting the in-season tournament, I think they might be onto something. And one last thing, you remember with the Phoenix Suns, they took their programming off and put on just basic
Well,
cable.
they
In
didn't take it off. So
no,
typically, right, for
Mhm,
local games, there's
mhm,
a blackout, right?
mhm.
That blackout will go to the cable local channel, ESPN, TSN, whatever. But yes, the owner he put it on like not just cable, but like on I forgot what he called
base
it.
like is it like basic cable or
Yeah,
just
like
regular? Yeah,
basic, like
yeah.
the channel that everyone gets if you plug it in, right? Because not everyone can have fiber optics or fiber connection, right? So
Right.
by doing that, people who don't have cable could still watch the games to support
Hmm. So
in like the
that would be
rural type
actually
areas. Yeah.
that would be the opposite of what the NBA is doing because the NBA is actually looking to make
Well,
it
no, because
exclusive.
even for interpret tournament games, despite it being on Netflix, the local market will still get it, right? Because
Oh.
like keep in mind the NBA app. If
Hmm.
if I'm in Toronto, I can't watch Raptor games on the NBA app, right? It's blacked out because I live in Toronto, right?
Right.
So I think it'll be similar where there'll be a blackout. You can't probably
Hmm.
watch it if you're in that market on Netflix
Hmm.
because it's a local, typically the local market will get that. But the in-season tournament, that's why I think it's tricky because Netflix will have to have like, they have to up and up a lot of their technology. Because right
Hmm.
now they do have tech in regards to like America versus Canada, but if you're in different states, you know what I mean? Like that local channel, they're paying money for all the teams' games. So if Netflix gets into the tournament, how does that work? That means we're competing with Netflix. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's advertising dollars, that's money. So Netflix will have to pay or purchase the rights from those local markets directly. It's similar to what you know what I'm saying. So again, I think that's why I think it'll be part documentary, part like I'll see how I'm curious how it works, but it'll have to be a way where you know the other media local channels who purchase that team's rights to show all those games they're gonna have to have a piece of that pie from Netflix in an in-season
Hmm.
tournament. So, but
Okay.
nonetheless, I think it's a win-win for both sides. They got to figure out, how it's gonna work. But I think both sides will benefit, and
The
Netflix and
docuseries angle of it, I think, is really cool because they'll obviously be able to get some behind the scenes stuff. And I think
yeah,
in regards to
but
content,
but
it would be
hopefully it's
great.
only of the winners though. I don't care for the lose. Like if you didn't win it, it has to be a docuseries maybe of like I'll think from the playoffs, right, from the playoffs. But even still, like it should follow. It's gonna be hard because it seems like whoever wins the tournament, like or the angle will have to be very different. Like, like Hard
Hmm.
Knocks, how like they talk, how it goes around like how players don't make the team, stuff like that. It'll have to be a line like that, like something, an angle where we're seeing a different side to the NBA because media today covers a lot of NBA. We've seen all angles. So it'll have to be a different type of angle for fans to actually want to watch. And I think
Hmm.
it'll have to be the winners, but maybe how they got there. But then you don't know that until they win. So you're kind of, you know what I mean? So it has to be something kind of interesting where it's following each team's success and then how they fail. Like, it has to be a good story, or
Hmm.
else it's going to be redundant to what ESPN and TNT is doing. Because I'm assuming they're probably going to have those games too, unless they pull TNT and those guys from watching those games. But then not everyone has Netflix, so Netflix will be able to sell people the licenses. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be difficult. But at the end of the day, they'll have to outbid Netflix. Netflix wants to do this, but it's gonna be competition. ESPN, all those channels, all those media companies are gonna be bidding for the in-season tournament. If that's a thing, and Netflix will be part of the pie. But for him, don't think it'll only be Netflix. I can see Apple TV trying to get into this pie. I could see Amazon. It's going to be a war, a battle,
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
battle.
Hmm.
So, and if the fact that it's out there now is like, oh, Netflix thinks they can do that, then I wonder who else is going to try to get in. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And Netflix was a leader in streaming, but others have caught up now. So you're right. It's going to be definitely a lot of competition
Death
in the
match.
space. And Netflix can actually use something like this, actually, tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right, we'll keep our eye on it. Nelly J, oh, we go to For the Culture.
For the culture, we like to highlight individuals for the culture. And today we get to highlight a group of setters for him. I call them setters. These are owners, not only owners for him, these are Black minority owners that are in the NBA this season. And Fahim, when I saw this list, I was shocked because I didn't even know, Fahim, half the people I'm going to name for you right now were part owners of NBA teams.
Woo!
So, guys, let's just celebrate everyone I'm about to list off. So, first, we got J. Cole, right? Part owner of the Charlotte Hornets.
Yes.
Damian Mills, also Hornets, and Grant Hill, Atlanta Hawks. Dwayne Wade, as we know, Utah Jazz. David Robinson, San Antonio Spurs. I did not know that.
What? David
Yeah,
Robinson is, wow.
exactly. Valerie Daniels Carter, Milwaukee Bucks. Miles Garrett. Yes, yes. He plays football. Cleveland Browns. He's
Perhaps?
also part owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. What? We also got Usher Raymond, also a Cleveland Cavaliers minority owner. We got Sheila Johnson, Washington Wizards, Will Smith, and Jada Pickett Smith. Philadelphia 76ers. What? Fahim, all these guys are for the culture because they're literally investing in a sport that is dominated by Black, um, Nubian Black people. But no, Fahim, I just was very surprised when I saw this list because again, half people here I did not know there were. We all knew about Michael Jordan, right? We knew he left, but even though that he left, there's still two owners that are Black in Charlotte Hornets. So again, congrats. Let's celebrate all these minority owners, but Black owners of the NBA. Even though we don't have any majority owners right now in the NBA team, I think Fahim, we're on the right track because 10 years ago we didn't have any. So, bro, what's your thoughts on this? You got it.
Wow, great list. I knew Usher was. I remember Will Smith, but yeah, half, like the vast majority of the names you named there, I had no idea. I think it's awesome. Um, so shout out to all the owners. I do want to say, remember during was it the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement that we just had recently? Wasn't
Mm-hmm.
part of their contract something in their contract where they can be owners and teams? Was that? Do you remember anything like that, Nelly J?
No, I don't think there
No.
was owners of teams, but I think you can invest.
Invest. Okay, so maybe
There's a
that was
portion of
okay.
an
Yeah.
investment
Okay.
in a
Mm-hmm.
team. I'm not sure if it's an owner's stake, but
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if it's the same team you're playing for,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Yeah.
think you can have an investment stake. I forgot the exact
Yeah.
term,
Something
but yeah,
it's
there's
just in
something
regards
in it
to
where they can, if they want to be an ownership or be involved in the ownership group, that they have the flexibility to do so. I
yeah.
believe, but I'll
There
look it
was
up.
some kind of verbiage in that where that empowers players to have some kind of you know empower them outside of the court, right? So that's why I thought something along those lines. But still, regardless, yeah, just the fact that we do have these minority owners, it's great that you found this list because we need to know about
Mm-hmm.
this, right?
Yep. And
Um,
Fahim, you're correct, actually. So this new CBA allows players to own a minority share,
no, yeah,
but it
that's what I was
cannot
speaking, right? Mhm.
exceed 5%.
Okay, right,
So,
right. So there we go. So then coming back to the original, then yes. So I was gonna say it's like more are coming, because now you have players who are, have big contracts, and having more of a mind of investment, getting their business right. So I think this list will be growing more rapid. Is kind of uh, we know about the majority, the minority ones we didn't know, but um, I think things like this we need to celebrate
mm-hmm.
because for the current players now, I think that's something that to let them know, hey, you know what, the league's embracing it, so why don't we go after it?
Absolutely. And imagine if like 10 players are minority owners or retired players become minority owners of teams, right? That just adds so 5%, 5%, 5%. You have 10 players owning a team, that's 50% of a team can be owned by past players. I'm loving that.
Right,
Or
right,
current players, right?
right.
Or current stars. So, and again, if I'm a star, I'm bringing most of the revenue anyway because everyone's coming to see me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're paying tickets to come see me. So, even though players do get a cut, I think this is a great investment for players for when they retire. They still have that stake in that team, right? So, yeah, love it, love it, love it. Big up to everybody, man, on this list. Love, and I'm hoping, Fahim, we're gonna have at least 2 expansion teams coming up. The majority ownership of one of those teams, I'm hoping will be someone of African descent. So let's go.
Let's go. All right. So now, Jay, why don't we close this out with our last segment? That's absurd.
That's absurd. Fahim, bro, what was absurd this week? What was absurd?
The NBA is requiring LaMelo Ball to cover the tattoo that's below his left ear because the league insists that it violates rules against exposing commercial logos on players' bodies. Absurd.
Absurd. Like, honestly, when I saw this for him, I just thought about the big three. Like, the NBA is really
Right.
a corporation. They're literally a corporation. Like, this is not like I know it's a sport, but for him, they operate like a business, man. We really think his tattoo is going to make people like that's going to advertise, right? And therefore, people are going to be like, oh, let me buy this because he's wearing a tattoo. Like, y'all are for him. People wear tattoo of their favorite singers, artists, quotes. That's also advertising, right? No,
Yeah.
like, like,
So
like
for context,
this
though, I
is
want to say
crazy.
that Nelly J, he has an L and F. So it's an LF and it's red
Mm-hmm.
under his neck.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, under his ear, and LF stands for
Oh, I know
LaFrent,
what that's for.
which is
Yeah.
his middle name, just for context.
And that's what
And
I'm
he's
saying, Fahim.
mhm,
Like, I think it's absurd.
yeah,
This is behind his ear. Okay, if it's like on his like I don't know, like when he shoots the ball, you always see the tattoo. You know what I mean? Like,
mhm,
come on, man. Like Lamelo, the way he played, no one's watching the back of his ear. We're all watching his handles, right? We're all watching the ball.
right.
Like, no one got time to be man, Fahim. Someone petty as hell in the NBA league office, literally Fahim must have been advocating. No, no, no. We have to fight this. It's a
Mhm,
tattoo. Because Fahim, I'm sure Adam was like, really? Is it really a problem? And Fahim, I'm sure it's probably an advertiser or someone, a competing brand, probably felt
right,
away, right? Like this
right.
is absurd. Like I'm so I'm annoyed for LaMelo. He's covering it up for me, but I'm annoyed. This is not something. So what? So if I'm a Nike athlete and I get like a tattoo of Nike, the Nike of some type of brand, you know what I'm saying? What now? I'm violating the league. Like
Hmm.
folks are wearing different sneakers and kicks that they want to wear for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the time. They wear headbands that they want to wear. So is every item on a player have to be approved by the league? I mean, I'm asking. I don't know, but this is absurd to me that
Hmm.
now they're trying to police tattoos, man. This is wild.
Right, especially personal tattoos that has to his name. So, in a statement by an NBA spokesman, they said, per the CBA, players are prohibited from displaying commercial logos or corporate insignia on their body or in their hair during games. We try to enforce the rule reasonably in accordance to the purpose and taking into account players' efforts to express themselves in a non-commercial manner. But LaMelo Ball's neck tattoo is an obvious violation of the rule, and accordingly, he is required to cover it. End quote.
It's a
Yeah,
tattoo. Listen, if someone gets a
it's a tad.
tattoo, man,
Let him live. Let him live.
let him live, man. Like it's different if he's wearing and why can't players wear their own brand?
Yeah. Yeah. Facts. Absurd. All right,
Absurd.
Nelly J. Why don't we put this episode in the books?
Yes, y'all, that was the Good Rookie Show.
Hmm.
So as you guys know, this is our time to do shout outs, okay? And my shout out for him, I'm actually flabbergasted, okay? So the National Women's Soccer League has signed the biggest broadcasting deal ever for any women's sport, okay? The deal is a TV rights deal for 4 years, and it's with CBS Sports, ESPN, Prime Video, and Scripps Sports. The deal is worth $240 million over 4 years.
What?
Listen, man. Yes. This just happened earlier this month. This is incredible. Honestly, guys. Again, I've been preaching this for the last 2 years, okay? Y'all can catch my damn receipts. Invest in women's sports now. Get it in now, okay? Because it's about to blow up. So I gotta say for him, big up to the NWSL on this huge deal. That's gonna bring lots of revenue, increased pays for all the ladies, coaching staff, facilities, quality of service for fans for him. It's gonna be epic. So I'm so excited. It also includes championship matchup on CBS. So yeah, which happened actually this month, already passed. So yeah, Fahim, I'm pretty excited for this. We have 4 platforms. We mentioned Prime Video, ESPN, CBS Sports, Scripps Sports, all involved in this deal. I think it's incredible. Right now, Fahim, the current deal is with CBS. And right now, that deal was a $4.5 million deal over 3 years, Fahim. This deal has increased to $240 million over 4 years. Yeah. That's an investment.
That is an
so big it
investment.
up. Right?
Big up. Big up.
Big up, man.
How about my shout? I'm gonna give a shout out to Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
He has a energy drink that's a ZOA,
Ooh.
and it's earned over $100 million in sales as of 2022.
Oh, wow. That man can sell any product, man. Just put his face on anything. He's going to sell.
Yeah, the drink, it consists of electrolytes, amino acids, vitamin B and C, and natural caffeine pulled from green tea leaves and green coffee beans. And there's 0 sugar. So, like you said, he can pretty much sell everything, but just the fact that this is ZOA, it's earned over $100 million. And, it's, the sports energy drink. It's a competitive and growing market. So just the fact that he's using his celebrity, putting together a good product, and being successful. Shout out to Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Absolutely.
All right, Nelly J, let's put it in the books.
Yes, y'all. That was the Good Rookie Show. If you had a good time and you enjoyed yourself, please like and subscribe. And tell a friend to tell 3 friends. Fahim.
3. Wow. We're on all platforms. We're on all platforms. If you're looking for us, you know what it is. It's the Good Rookie Show. And we out.
Peace.
Peace.